Hello, this is Catherine Nicholas, and this is my summary of Module 2. I actually typed up my response, but I'm trying to work on my camera speaking abilities, so here it goes. The main point of this module is how to determine the appropriate CBM probe to assess your students' reading abilities and the importance of graphing these results. As a resource English teacher, this is really something that I struggled with. My students range anywhere from kindergarten to 4th grade, but they're all in the same 7th grade English class. This module helped me realize that when I'm testing, I can focus on individual areas of opportunity for each student and can continue to monitor the growth in those areas. I have to remember that not every student is going to learn at the same rate, and they don't learn in the same ways. What works for one doesn't work for the other, necessarily. But there are ways for me to differentiate my instruction and assessments in order to provide the best education possible for each of those students. With the varying levels of reading abilities in my class, I've decided the best way for me to maximize instruction time is to have my class work in stations. I was thinking one station could be individual work, the second station could be small group work, and then the third group could be working with me. They would obviously be on timed sessions, but that one-on-one with me would provide me the time that I need to administer any CBM probes that I choose to do, and that would be very easy for me to do weekly. Graphing the CBM data in the module really was helpful. It helped me realize the effect that having a visual representation of data, how helpful that is. Because, having a list of data and a list of numbers is helpful, but the graph itself helps us see when the student exceeds or misses predetermined goals. That then allows us to adjust the goals as needed. It also provides a good turnaround time because we're administering it ourselves. I am actually very interested in investing in one of the CBM graphing software packages. I think having a centralized system to input data is great, and it'll help me make the graphs too, which is just another thing that I can take off of my plate. This will also assist in the turnaround time for results because the software programs do a lot of the work for you, like I said before. I think that the intra-individual framework is going to be the best fit for me and my students for creating end-of-the-year goals. Since they're all several grade levels behind in reading. I really thought it was cool how they came up with the end of the year or the year graph that would show progress by using the 3 weeks and then the end of the year goal. It made it really easy to see when the student was falling short or surpassing his or her goals, and I can see that being a great tool to help me guide my instructional decisions one way or another. And honestly, I think having an open flow of communication is one of the most important things to have in your classroom. That goes from teacher to student, student to teacher, teacher to parent. And I would even say that giving my students the ability to acknowledge and own their own data and their own progress would be a huge tool in teaching them self-advocacy. And I think that would really impress their teachers and their other teachers. Impress their parents and their other teachers as well. I want my students to own their development, their progress, and ultimately their future, and getting comfortable with their performance and data, whether it's good or bad, is a great way to start this. I've definitely been in IEP meetings before where, parents have been handed data and numbers, and, I think as a special education teachers, we're so used to this, like the data, the numbers, the acronyms, the words, that we don't realize how overwhelming that can be for a parent. I think seeing the graphed results, again, as a visual representation is a lot easier for the parent to see and understand. I've been in meetings where this went over really, really well. So I really, really do like having that data in graph form in an IEP meeting with me, especially for the parent's sake. I think if a student isn't doing well, or like my students who are all lower level learners. For the parent to see, and the student themselves, to see that we have set a higher goal for the future and listed resources and how we're going to assist their child in reaching that goal, gives them confidence in in their child that they can, really do more than they are. They can reach farther and achieve more. And I think that also increases the parents' confidence in us as teachers that we're investing that into their child. So that's all I've got. It'll get better.